Hey, my name is Brett Kleur. I've been playing drums for about 20 years, and these are some things I've learned along the way. So I'm mainly a primary school teacher, that's junior school, and the kids that I teach are from ages 5 to 13. So the majority of my students are young, they just started learning drums, and they're very susceptible to learning anything. If you think about it, kids are in the prime stage of development. So when I first teach them and I tell them to hit a hi-hat and a snare drum and a bass drum, when I tell them to now start playing a beat, they naturally want to do it open-handed. They have no experience of drums before this, they have no influences, but it's the first thing they do is they want to play open-handed, not closed-handed. So we as drum teachers and drum teachers for the past however long have always been like, no, you need to play like this, put your hand there, your other hand there to play the snare. So one thing that I've kind of realized while teaching all these kids is maybe it's better to play open-handed because it's the natural thing to do. So then just taking that concept and putting it at an advanced level I actually think it would be better to play both. Get good at playing both close-handed, open-handed. When you play open-handed, you have so many more options of playing toms while keeping grooves going here. And it's the same thing with playing close-handed. You'll do things that you won't be able to play open-handed. So the moral of that point that I've learned is it's probably better just to do both, and maybe it is more natural for us to play open-handed. Once you hit a certain level on the drums, you can play anything. So there are only a certain amount of subdivisions you get, whether it be 8th notes, 16th notes, or 32nd notes. So if you just think about it, anything you can play, once you can visualize it, you can play. So like once you kind of get to a certain level of skill, you can learn to play anything, really. It's not that hard. Although the trick is, how you play it is what determines how good you sound. Once you get to that level of being able to learn anything, the skill and the focus comes in on how you play it. How does it sound? That's what determines how good you sound and how well you play it. If I have one piece of advice for musicians, it would be to listen to as much music as possible. Try to diversify what you listen to. Fill yourself with different perspectives on music from different drummers. So listen to rock, listen to jazz, listen to metal. If you love rock music, focus on that, cool, but you might just benefit from listening to some jazz music. Another thing that I found is I hit a point where I loved watching drummers play drums. Like I would love watching videos of Lionel Lewis, Nate Smith, just playing, shedding. But it was more beneficial for me to watch them play in band environments just because I saw then how they created music on the drums. They didn't just play drums. So yeah, just listen to different types of music and listen to drummers playing in bands. One thing that helps a lot, and I tell this to my students, I tell it to myself repeatedly, is to practice difficult things. You want to challenge yourself on this instrument just because playing things that are a lot harder will make playing simpler things a lot easier. So just think about when you drive a car, think about driving a car 120 kilometers down a freeway. You're going really fast, and then now you're going into suburbs, driving 60 feels like you're going so slow. It's the same thing on the drums. If I'm playing 32nd notes all out, if I go play an 8th note after that, it's going to feel a lot easier to just play this. So that's a good way to practice, but one thing you do need to focus on is when you do that, you can lose your sense of groove and feel, so you need to focus on both. So just play hard things, they'll challenge you. When you get challenged, it will make the easier things a lot easier to play. Technique on the drums is very important. Because it's a physical instrument, there's high potential for injuries in your wrists, in your ankles. So learning how to play properly, I know that's subjective. Some people say that's the proper way, that's the proper way. When it comes to things like wrist movements and arm movements, there are ergonomic ways to move your body. So technique on the drums is so important because after playing for 20 years, I can still play super comfortably with no injuries, nothing wrong with my hands or legs, and I can play for a long time. And that's because I've taken the time to develop my technique on the drums. So technique, it's something to really focus on. It's going to serve you well in the long run. Those are 5 things off the top of my head. Obviously, there's a lot of depth to this instrument. There's a lot more that I've learned, and I'm sure there's a lot more that you've learned. So if I've missed anything, let me know in the comments. Let's talk about it. Maybe it'll help some other people. I try to post 3 videos a week. Just feel free to check them out. Some of them are videos like this. Other ones are short lesson videos. I don't do a lot of talking in the lesson videos because personally for me, because I've hit that skill where you can learn anything, I'd rather just watch someone play something and then put the transcription there so I can just learn it. So I try to focus my videos through that lens. Cool guys, I hope you have an awesome week. I'll see you in the next one.